XRP, the biggest mistake most retailer investors are making right now. And if not now, they're about to make it. So XRP, everything looks green in the market, but XRP is still red. What's going on? Let me explain based upon the direct information I have directly from the sources, Bank of America and many others, what is about to happen and what you should and you shouldn't do. This is not financial advice, but this is just my thoughts. I'm making this live. The markets are pumping like crazy. If you've not been watching my portfolio, you should notice this. I'm making so much money, it's ridiculous. You have to be a bit defensive. You know I sold my S&P to buy Coca-Cola? It was the right move. Yes, it was. However, I'm also frustrated about XRP. And when I get frustrated and I talk directly to the source, I can only imagine how my Lucasades and my members are feeling. So let me explain exactly what's going on with XRP right now and what you should do about it. The markets are pumping. Money is being made hand over fist. It's incredible. But people are still talking about an inevitable crash because the S&P is overheated. And it is. There's no two ways about it. But the markets keep going up and up and up. Now, what do you do? This video is all about XRP. We're not going to talk about anything else other than XRP. What are you going to do? Well, let me share with you my thoughts on this. And this is directly from the source. Please do tap the like button. Please do consider subscribing. We represent the #1 largest audience in the world for XRP. We literally rank #1 all the time now on YouTube and Google. Very proud of that. Here's XRP right now. It's going sideways. It's doing nothing. It's stuck at $3. Is that the top? Is that why you bought it? Well, no, it's not. It's just getting started. But most of you are going to make fundamental mistakes. You all know I was 100% in the S&P just a few weeks ago. I started to trim. I trimmed big, about 200 grand overall, and I bought Coca-Cola. I went defensive because the market is overheating. There are concerns about a carry trade as soon as next week. However, CPI, PPI is good. We're going to get a 0.5% rate cut as early as the next FOMC report next week. Wonderful. XRP, Bitcoin and Ethereum should be rallying. They should be. And some of it is. We've got a little gain, not much to be honest, on Bitcoin. We've got a little gain, but not much on Ethereum. But XRP down, going sideways. In fact, it's struggling to hold that $3. And let me tell you where you're going to go wrong. And most retail investors are going to get this wrong. The market is doing great, but rate cuts for rate cuts' sake are not some kind of achievement or trophy and everything is wonderful. It's not. Everything is not wonderful. There are some issues out there. However, rate cuts will put liquidity into small caps. Russell, you've seen today Virgin Galactic explode and the Russell go up, and it should be going into crypto. It will. And particularly XRP. And let me tell you what I think is going to happen. If you believe in XRP and you think it's a great investment, why did you buy it in the first place? You didn't buy it, hopefully, because you were guessing or hoping. You bought it because you understand what the asset is. And I learned this by talking directly with Bank of America, Robinhood, exchanges, CEOs, and other people are connected with it. I understand it. This is why I was able to buy it near the top. I bought it at $3.47. And then I started buying more of it when it came down. I've lowered my average and I'll trim it at $3.47. I didn't speculate and guess when it was 38 cents years ago. However, I did have some then, and I built my S&P portfolio on it. But now I've re-entered the space, and now I'm happy to hold it. The difference between me and most retail investors is they are over-leveraging, over-gambling, buy when it pumps, take a 2% profit. What on earth are you doing? You're mismanaging your investment. Whether you understand crypto or don't, whether you get it or you don't, it is still a high-risk asset. You have to allow, in my book anyway, 200 to 300%, 3Xs built in at any point. If it's not, the risk to reward isn't there. It simply isn't there. If you are buying on a pump, there's no risk to reward. You've got to allow a balance. You've got to allow an amount that it can grow into to balance out the risk. Now, what's going to happen is this. I'm going to make a prediction based upon my direct contacts with the people that influence this more than anyone. Not those on X, not those talking rubbish, those that actually can move it. XRP, in my opinion, is going to $10 imminently. Today, tomorrow, next week, imminently. I don't know the exact day. Nobody does. That's what I can see. So from here, that's a 3X. So I can't buy it here. I can't buy it here. I can trim here. I can't buy it here. So I don't think you should be either. And retail, as always, gets it wrong. It overbuys it, it over-leverages it buys it into FOMO, it sells it when it makes a few cents profit, then chases it, happens over and over again. And I know that at one point, and it'll probably be at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning at a weekend, Bank of America will buy billions or millions of XRP, and I mean the coins, millions of the coin. It'll jump so quickly, most people will miss it. And I'll get my $10 and I'll be trimming and that'll be wonderful. Most people now are getting frustrated and they're selling. Well, of course they're selling. It's going down today. They're selling. Some people are shorting it. Some people, and they'll get wrecked as well. People who are gambling and taking all these excessive risks are all going to lose their money. I'm not. Guarantee you I won't lose my money, and I guarantee I won't get margin called. So there's 2 messages here. One, every single time at the point of capitulation, at the point that you are fed up and you are selling out, that is the moment that is identifiable with like a big red flag going off. That institutions can see retail is getting shorted, retail is getting wiped out, liquidated. At that moment is when it will pop. So if you bought this because you understand it and you know what it is, now is the time to sit back and relax and ask yourself this one question, because I can do this. Can you switch off your portfolio and walk away without looking and knowing that when you come back to it in a month or 2 or 6 or a year, you'll be up? If you know that 100% and you can actually do it, then your portfolio is right for you. If you're constantly checking, waking up at the middle of the night, not because you're enjoying it, but because you have to check because you're concerned, your portfolio is out of balance for you. You need to understand what you own. A couple of days ago, I made a very bold move. I trimmed the S&P just before the PPI, just before CPI. I trimmed it. People would have said, you're mental, you're crazy. Really? I've made tons of money. I've trimmed from the top, so I've paid minimum tax and I've kept the bottom. I've kept the bottom. Look at my average. My average now, my average cost on VU is $461. It was $508, $461. I've still got $184,000 in VU. It's still making me tons of money. However, I trimmed. I went into Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is now it already is outperforming the S&P. Was I wrong? Of course I wasn't wrong. It's the right thing to do because the S&P is now 27 times earnings. Now, things like Palantir, which is 1,000 times earnings, you seem to think it can go up forever. It can't, and it can crash very quickly. But the S&P won't let you get away with it. The S&P, which is owned by institutions and the whole system, will not let it overheat. I guarantee you that. So you've got to know when to trim. You've got to understand what you own. Did I want to sell my S&P before it continued rallying? No, but it was the right thing to do. I bought Coca-Cola and I was right. I sold the S&P and Coca-Cola was on a dip. I took advantage of it because I'm looking at the numbers, the balance sheet, the valuations. It's always been and always will be about that. It's not about blind belief. It's not about people on social media telling you you're going to get rich in 5 minutes. It never has been, it never will be about that. It's always been about valuations and fundamentals and good old-fashioned principles. The rest is noise and nonsense designed for you to get tripped up and lose your money. Because remember, people like me can't make money until people like you lose money. It's the way it works. You don't like it? Get out of the kitchen. This is capitalism. Making money. This is what it's about. If you don't like it, you shouldn't be here. We can't all win together. There are winners and losers every single day. So, my prediction for XRP, again, is imminently, at any point, going to $10. But between now and then, most retail investors will get fed up, tired, bored, think it's all over, and they'll give up. And they'll lose. Or they'll buy into the pump again. Or they'll overshort the market. I don't do options. I don't do shorts. I just buy and own the business and trim from the top. I don't buy anything I can't own for at least 10 years. However, I recognize when it gets overbought and it's time to take a bit of profit, but I do it in the most sensible way possible from the top and keeping the shares at the bottom. I don't sell from the bottom with the maximum profit. I sell from the top with the least profit, but profit nevertheless. So there's my XRP thoughts. I think most retail investors are going to get it wrong because you're going to start to rally and buy it on the way up. You shouldn't do that. And most retail investors now are selling and getting tired going, XRP, it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. If you knew why you bought it in the first place, you are perfectly happy to own it. Those that bought it and selling it are those that didn't understand it in the first place. And that is the point of capitulation. When it goes down and everyone sells and then institutions just come in and go, thank you very much. I'll buy all of this. I will buy more. If XRP drops to $2.50 today or $2 today, I most certainly will buy more. And I'll reach my target even quicker. Anyway, I wish everyone the best. I'm making this during a live figure event. I'm live waiting for Figure IPO to go live, but I wanted to make this for you. So join me. I'm going to post this now as a video. It will premiere back into here and you can come and join me here for the Figure IPO. I've got 10 shares and I'm holding them. And I've just done analysis why I'm holding them. That's it from me. I'll give you all the links now. We're going to give away $1,000 in XRP in a couple of days' time. Make sure you join us for that. All the links will be below. And I'll put the links up here to Figure and where I am. Also down in the description in the comments. Over here, I'll put the XRP playlist and the Figure where we're live on the IPO. Good luck to all of those who are investing in crypto. Whatever you do, understand what you own and have patience. If you haven't got patience, that's something telling you you shouldn't have got in the first place. Above my head, down here, in the links, over here and over here. That's it from me. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.